This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call a meeting to order of the Harwich Cemetery Commission at 8 o'clock. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good.
Very good.
Little chilly outside.
Yeah, I haven't been outside yet. Okay. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Do you have a motion to approve the minutes or discussion on it? Any, didn't hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Do we approve the minutes for the, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
Oh, I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll
Anybody-
second.
There we go. Sorry, second it.
Okay.
Is it unanimous?
I believe so.
Yes.
So the first item on the agenda was the cemetery budget. I included it all in the packet. The only addition that we had was the increase to add the part-time employee for the office. So all that information is in the packet. Did anybody have any questions? I mean, it's the exact same thing we submitted last year. I did get the amount that the person would be paid by Carol Coppola. So there will be, I don't get an increase this year because it's free spending, like a freeze on all of our increases, and I'm at the top step. So I'll be making the exact same salary as last year because I don't have a step increase. So then we had our expenses. So we have our water utilities, which Dan Pelletier was great enough to send us all an Excel work spreadsheet, which had the new costs for all the water, how much usage we had last year and going forward. So that is a fixed number at $23.85, well, $2,385. So it's an increase of 1.4%. And then everything else stayed the same. Our telephone, which is my cell phone for the office, is $612 for the year. Office supplies are $510. I think if we go remote again, that might go up because I'll be buying ink for my portable printer rather than the industrial printer that we have here in the office. And then dues and subscriptions is $1,276. So I think it's we only had an increase of $33 on water utilities, and then the increase for the salaries and wages. So that was my whole budget. I have a very small budget, so it's not that difficult to do.
Yeah. Now, did that include the desk you just got? The office supply stuff?
No, that's comes out of cemetery revolving. That doesn't come out of our budget.
Ah, okay.
The budget's very small for the for our office. So the next thing on the agenda is the your commission's annual report, and Rob was very helpful and helping me do a draft for you guys. So I don't know if there was anything you guys wanted to add to that. There is a few other things that that I think we should probably, write that I forgot to put in there. We did put up cemetery signs per Megan Eldridge at Mount Pleasant, Island Pond, and Evergreen, asking people if they are walking in there and they can't socially distance, that they have to wear masks. So those are posted at the entrance of those three cemeteries. So I think we should probably put that in there, that she requested that we put them up and they were installed.
Okay.
And in that all the services that we have had this year, I have to attend all of them, and a lot of the services, we have to make sure that while they're at the services that they wear masks. And I did not include that in there. And while I'm at there, usually we have, at the beginning of the year, we would have the funeral director or myself make an announcement as people are getting out of their cars that they have to wear masks if they're going to congregate around each other during the services. So we don't have that in the report, and I think it's important to put in so that people know that we were in compliance during this epidemic and that we were making sure everyone stays safe within the cemeteries during events and stuff.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
So I didn't know if there was anything else that you, if you guys read over that you think that we should include in there.
Yeah, all right, I don't think so. I think it covers a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, I went through the minutes of all of our meetings over this last year and pulled out the different things that had we've discussed at the meetings, and I think it pretty much covered everything. But if you guys have anything else, this report is due to the Board of Selectmen. I believe we have to have it to the office the Tuesday before we go before them. So I don't have a calendar here for. So we would have to have it to them by the 29th of this month. So if there's anything else you want to add in the meantime, if you could just forward it on to me via email and I could add it on, and then that way we'll all be logging into that meeting. And I don't think the person who wants to present from the commission has to read all of the information on the report. It's very lengthy, and the Board of Selectmen meeting is only so long. So I think if they just hit on some of the bulleted important items, I think that would be good.
Okay.
All right.
Who's required to do that? Me?
So, yes, Steve.
We got your back, Steve, though.
Huh? You got my
Yeah.
back?
So, I mean, you each can present a little bit of it if you wanted to. You could present 3 or 4 things, and then Bob could say a few things if you wanted, and Cindy could say a few things. We lost Cindy, logged off. So, I think that it's, you know, they just want to hear from the commission. You know what I mean? Because this is your report. So,
Okay.
all right.
We'll figure this out. Right?
So, the next thing is the end of the year report. Also, I put in the totals, and those totals are going to change. I've already had 2 people contact me this week to purchase cemetery lots, so I have to update that. So right now in the cemetery revolving account, there is $93,329.84, and we have an available portion is $62,219.84. But I believe that once I get, you know, I'm selling 2 different families lots. Oh, there we are, Cindy. I'm selling a couple more lots in the next week. So I think those totals will change, and I think I need to have an updated total. So by the 29th, I'll probably update those numbers. So those will change a little bit, and also the number of burials. So I think it's important that right now we only have had a total of 61 burials, but I still have about 30 people that, or over 30 people that are have been cremated, that they're still waiting to have services because they don't want their family members to fly in from other parts of the country. So I think we'll probably be very busy in the spring once everyone, you know, once the vaccine gets distributed and all that stuff. So next year, our numbers for burials will probably be a lot bigger than they normally would be, but it's because a lot of people who should have been buried this year have chosen to postpone their cremation burials due to the COVID. And their family members not being able to travel and not being able to actually celebrate somebody's end of life. So those totals will change. Even though we've had, more people that have passed away, we've had less people being interred because of the
virus.
So I will update the totals for the report as soon as we get closer, because those have to reflect our end of the year totals, and those will change between now and then. Okay, so then we have our update on our CPC articles. I did go before the CPC, and they had several questions for me, a lot of questions on the East Harwich Methodist/Union Cemetery, and the few things that they asked were I had mentioned our master plan that Cemetery Commission had drafted. So we've had a master plan for the Cemetery Commission. It was started by Paul Doan. Well, actually it started before him, because it was a comprehensive plan in the year 2000. And then we built off of that plan, and so it is in your packet for you guys to review. She just wants to see that. Donna Kalinek requested that, so I have to send that off to the CPC. She also wanted us to talk about our long-term plans, and I said, well, we don't currently have in our plan we talk about restoring all the gravestones in all of the cemeteries and indexing everything in the cemeteries. So maybe at some point we'll probably have to put that on as an agenda item for us to discuss, to have long-term plans for all of the cemeteries. And then they wanted me to take the book that was compiled by the Mount Pleasant CPC article that was completed. Remember the 3-ring binder that I've got, 2 of them, and I tried to give to the CPC. She wants me to bring those to the library so that people can see how the money was spent on the previous CPC articles. And then they questioned the fact that the cemetery is owned by the church, and they wanted to know if we could get legal opinion upon us doing a CPC article there. So in your packet, I sent these questions off to Joe Powers. I'm still waiting. He was at a procurement thing on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of last week. So I'm sure he'll get to that this week. But I did also include in the packet, he wanted to know about, somebody else asked about the chapter and section about cemeteries for municipalities that take over burial places. So I included that in the packet, and it says, any town having within its limits an abandoned or neglected burial ground may take charge of the same and keep in good order, and may appropriate money thereof. But no property right shall be violated, no body shall be disinterred, no fence, no tomb, no monument or other structures shall be removed or destroyed, but the same may be repaired or restored. So I think by saying it can be repaired or restored, we are able to move forward with these CPC articles, but we did put in to ask that of the town attorney. So we'll just wait for the town attorney to get back to us on that.
Okay.
Yeah. They also wanted to know about contingency fees. So I did reach out to the people who gave me price quotes on all 3 things. And in the email that I sent that's in the packet, I sent to Griffin, because Griffin is helping. He is the procurement officer for the town. He's also our town engineer. And asked him what the different contingencies should be for each one of them. And I haven't heard back from Griffin yet either, but I'll follow back up with him after this meeting today. So there is no contingency fees right now for the gravestone conservation article. The historic restoration of fence post and rails, Crosby Monuments put in $5,000 for contingency fee. And then thirdly, on the Veterans Memorial Circle, in your packet, I got information back from Jeff Beatty, who was a veteran here in our town, and he suggested that because the Department of Defense had recently added a new branch of service, the U.S. Space Force, that it has to be included in our memorial. If we're doing a memorial that contains all of the branches of service, they are now considered a branch of service, and that we need to include that if we are putting up flags for all the branches of service. So in his letter, I'll just read the letter real quick because some people don't read the packet. It says, "Dear Robin and Commissioners, first of all, he would like to thank us for this beautiful project. It truly reflects on how Harwich views its veterans, and I salute the entire town for that. You were kind enough to let this wash ashore 1973 to 2018 speak at 2 occasions at the Memorial Day ceremonies, and it was truly one of the greatest honors of my life. A son of Harwich delivering this Memorial Day address. Thanks you. I would like to make one suggestion. The Department of Defense has recently added a new branch of service, the U.S. Space Force, and it would be correct to include this equal branch of the armed forces in your tribute, and I hope that you will do so. Thank you again for all that you do to honor the veterans. Sincerely, Jeffrey K. Beatty, Major U.S. Army retired, Delta Force, Purple Heart veteran." And if we come, once we do it, he wants to come up and be here for the dedication of the, hopefully this will go through. So I reached out to the Hamco flagpole company and asked them to add an additional flagpole and the flag, and the total is now $17,838 for the flags. So that brought up the article another $2,000. So I will, I am going before the Recreation Commission on the 22nd for the CPC article. So I will send them the updated totals. I also reached out to the Chatham VFW and spoke with Sean Libby, who's also a veteran who is works in this town. And Sean also will be drafting us a letter in support of this project.
Nice.
Sounds cool.
Any questions on that? So I know Cindy's been working so hard on this. She's wanted this Veterans Memorial for I can't tell you how many years. So this light at the
We'll
end
do
of
it. We'll get there.
Slow and steady, right?
Yep.
Well, and I think it's good too that that Jeff picked up on that for us, because it would have been bad if we had built this memorial and then suddenly had to go redo it to accommodate Space Force, which is a legitimate branch now. And
Right.
yeah, they need to be there. So that's all good.
So Paul Sweetser, our previous surveyor, I had spoken to him, and he is going to plot it out for us for no cost. So he's going to,
Awesome.
so that we have a diagram of it to present. So I'm very excited about getting that from him. So he's going to rearrange where the flag posts would be, so because we're going to have 6 now. So before we only had it for 5, so he'll rearrange it so the spacing is correct.
That's great.
What's the time frame on getting all that stuff after the article?
So once the article gets, if the article gets passed at the Maytown meeting, Hamco could probably install the flag poles pretty quickly. We would not be able to put up the flags until the electrical service has been installed. So that would take, so it should be done way before Veterans Day.
Okay, that's cool.
It should be very exciting. So we probably would have our dedication probably that day. I would assume that's a day that you guys would probably want to choose.
Perfect.
Yep. So we're all set with that one? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so the other thing is the cemetery signs. So I did reach out to Young and Fancy Signs. They have done most of our signs, and asked them about moving of the existing sign over at the Union Cemetery over to the Old Methodist Cemetery. So we've always had Bob Jordan do all of those installs, and he has retired. A lot of people have retired during this year that normally would have probably worked a little bit longer, but they've decided to retire. So she has a new company, and they're called Liberty Metalworks, that she sent information to us, who also sent me a quote. So I wanted to read you guys the quote because I just got it in after the packet was posted. So Liberty Metalworks, they're from Sandwich. He will do a yard in post of pressure treated wood, and it is $400 for that. The hanger fabrication and hardware, which is the wrought iron that hangs the sign on, is $200. The ornamental scroll, we have a scroll on all of ours, is $175. And the on-site installation to dig the post holes, set the post, and hang the sign is $750. For a total of $1,525. So I think it was $1,200 when it was done before, but it was over a year ago. So I just didn't know if you guys wanted to use him. She's used him on all of her other signs this year since Bob has retired, and she's extremely happy with this work.
Now, is the post going to match all the other posts we have?
Yeah, it's going to be identical. So he is doing all the work that she has currently, and we do have $63,000 in that account. So I really think that we should move forward and put it in its correct spot as soon as possible if we could. I don't know if the ground is frozen now and he has to wait anyways.
I'll make it
really cold today. But we'll have to see.
Is there any reason that the town employees can't move it?
So if they do it and the sign gets damaged or the sign falls, she's not responsible. So
Right.
that is why we've been going with them. The signs are expensive. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I really feel like we should have the vendor do it, and then have them do it so they can be responsible for the signs.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Can I make a motion that we have that sign that is currently in East Harwich at the Methodist Union Cemetery moved to the Queen Anne Road Cemetery?
Yes, I'll second that.
And I probably should also add that we start using this new vendor that she has as well.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out and make sure that he is registered as a new vendor with the town as well. He has to fill out some paperwork.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is it a unanimous?
Unanimous.
Yes.
Do we, so I also asked, Paul is also going to send me a quote to survey the Bank Street Cemetery.
Yay.
Awesome.
So
It's been a while.
I am going to put that official quote in the packet for the beginning of January meeting. So I'll have all that stuff for the beginning, and then that way we can move forward. He also said he would then address a letter to the abutters and let them know their encroachment. All right,
Awesome.
is that okay?
Yep.
Perfect.
Glad to follow up.
So the only bill we have is a WB Mason for ink cartridges, which was $127.98. And I'll scan that in for you guys later and send it off. I will put the Eversource hasn't come in yet. It's usually like $6 to $7, and that is for the Evergreen well entrance. So we have to pay that every month anyways, even though we're not using the water, but that's just the utility stuff. That's it.
That's it.
Does anybody have any other topics for discussion? So Russ Norton has sent back, so Ashley had sent Russ Norton all of the descriptions of all the trees and to make the signs. In her brief description, he has made some edits for her, gave her all the corrections, and gave her the name of a place that will allow us to use their digital images for the leaves. So
Awesome.
hopefully at the next meeting, I will have a couple samples for you guys to look at, so you can make sure that that's what you guys want to put on the designs for the tree tags, and then that we can move forward in ordering the tree tags, because I'd like to get those up before the spring so that people can do self-guiding tours, because I don't think that this epidemic is gonna clear up anytime soon. And it would be nice if people could do their own self-guided tours. And if the tree tags are up, I think it'll just make it a lot more easier on the public to view the Arboretum property.
Definitely.
Great.
So I'll also get the draft application completed for the next meeting, because that'll have to go before the Board of Selectmen, but it's pretty lengthy and I have to fill out all sorts of information, and I just will confirm all that stuff, and then we'll put that before the Board of Selectmen. And you probably will have to go to a different Board of Selectmen meeting for that. I don't think you guys will have to speak. I'll probably do all the speaking it though.
Okay.
Sure.
Unless you want to, and then I will. But it's exciting because that's almost finished. Yay.
Right. Great.
And the grant should be awarded this week or next week, so I will know if we're the recipient of that grant. So that's the Robert Wood Foundation that I applied for. And if not, we will just keep applying until we hit one that we do qualify for.
There you go.
Awesome.
So that's everything.
That's pretty much everything. It was a nice short meeting. You know, most of it was just the budget and for you guys report to the Board of Selectmen. Just wanted to make sure those things were done, and then we can submit those and move on to a new year. Hopefully it'll be a much
It's gotta
brighter.
be.
Don't go jinxing it.
Yeah, I know it.
So
Okay.
our next meeting is, hold on a second. It is on the 5th, right? January 5th?
January 5th, then we have the selectmen's on the 4th.
Yep, so we have the Board of Selectmen on the 4th, which is at night. And then the next morning, we will have our meeting.
Okay.
Great.
No other business or news?
Well, that's it.
Okay. Then I call
I
this
will-
meeting.
Yeah, I'll
Done.
actually keep you posted on the 22nd on how I make out at the Recreation Commission meeting.
Okay, that'd be great. We call the meeting closed at 8:29, 8:30. Just changed.
Okay.
Awesome.
Is that a unanimous to close the meeting?
Yes, it is.
All in favor, press the red X.
Who was the second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, guys. You have a happy and safe holiday.
You too. Everybody do.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Take care.